we're the biggest empire that ever existed. That's when we're against each other. Now they're pushing all white people into a corner, which is forcing them to work together. Holy shit. Like what? Like when you actually kind of zoom out and you think about the strategy, what a dumb strategy. Can you imagine the collective will of all Europeans working together? So and this is why I have hope for the future, because like they're creating the biggest monster that has ever existed. Before we get into it, what you're about to watch is the censored version of this episode. Increasingly, the algorithm is becoming more and more hostile to the type of content I want to deliver. This is a fully independent channel which is contending with the real world issues. If you'd like to support me and keep these talks alive, please head over to the Substack, where here and only here you'll find the full uncensored video, along with live Q&As, a chance to speak to some of the biggest voices in this space, and building a community of like-minded people. I'll leave a link in the description. Please be sure to check it out. Alternatively, if you do want to watch the whole episode for free, you can find the censored version on Spotify. If you do watch it here, all I'd ask is please be sure to follow. Please be sure to give it a 5-star review. This really, really helps with the algorithm. Anyways, enough from me. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode.
Some freaking third worlder comes driving down my road in the middle of the night blasting music. Or some guy shooting fireworks across the street above my house. They don't have to deal with that stuff. When some Jamaican woman's tweaking out literally right down the road from me on the sidewalk, like pulling her hair out and stuff. They don't have to deal with that because they're locked in. And it kind of plays into it. It's like James is a very much of a stepping stone. James is going to be more radical within a year. He's going to have to be more radical because it's just not going to stand with his own views. People are moving way too far right. And it's like what Bill Zarian said. If we're not going to get it in like 2 to 3 years, we're never going to get it. It's over.
I see it as there has to be compromise in the political sphere, because right now it is still obtainable through politics. Mm-hmm. However, if politics is no longer an option, then compromise, that's gone, right? I'm 100% with Frojax. I mean, I'm with them anyway, but for the political stuff, there is a game that needs to be had. There is a bit of, nuance. Mm-hmm. So at the moment too, Rupert Lowe, even if he said all of the perfect things, I still don't think Restore would get in because they're just too new of a party. You have this generational voting, which has been going on for the longest time. And it looks like Farage is a shill. We all know that. But for the sake of strategy, it looks like he's the right person. And like you say, it will move the window. It will move that needle to the position we need to go in. It's a stepping stone. It's not the final destination, right? This is a long game. We've been plagued by this uni-party system for 100 years. Mm-hmm. People underestimate how powerful that is, how consistent these generational voters are. That it doesn't matter, you saw this, I'm sure, but Rupert Lowe, he releases the rape gang inquiry 2 days before the election result, right? Before the election. And that was his silver bullet. That was going to be the bombshell, like, okay, I'm going to release this. No one's voting for Labour, right? Because they are heavily implicated in this gang. And sure enough, 2 days before, the guy who won got 55% vote.
Andy Burnham, yeah.
Andy Burnham, yeah. So it's like people need to understand it doesn't matter what you say, right? These people will not move. I think the bulk of normies will not wake up no matter what happens, sadly.
Unless they're getting stabbed in the face. Unless they are the ones getting stabbed on the way home from having a drink like Henry did. And It's so sad to say that that's the only way they'll wake up. But what you want to do is, I talked to a man named Jamie Gardner today, British guy, Remigration Summit dude. He's a great man. I'm going to release the episode soon. But the point is, him and I were talking about you have to rush these politicians very quickly when they start speaking our ideals. Because then when they say the wrong thing, you just push them back in line. Because their whole circle is people like us. I'll say this. I December 1st, I went to James Fishback's first event he ever done. By January 6th, I was working on his campaign at the top circle with only about 16 other people. And the ideals that were thrown around were very white-pilling. I just want to say that when there was times where James would be like, hey, I think I'm going to say this, there was either encouragement or, no, don't do that. And he would listen. He's a good man about listening. And everyone who was in his top circle was under the age of 26. So what we do is, like me and Jamie were talking about this, you have someone like Rupert, you just surround him with guys like us. Angloids out there posing with Rupert. You rush these politicians as soon as they come out with guys like us to show mass support and do all the work. So, oh, these guys are doing great. Put them on the campaign. So now we influence you with our politics. And then we control the narrative and we control the media output. So when that media output gets pushed out by us, we say, hey, this is doing the best on social media. Why is it doing the best on social media? Because guys like us are following each other. So guys like us repost it and it goes more to a better algorithm. And if you don't, we'll just leave. Because we're the guys putting all your stuff out. We have to infiltrate, take control, and they'll do what we want because they can't. We won't let them sway to the left like Trump did. Trump swayed as soon as Israel stuff came in. He swayed super hard. And to argue that he was infiltrated before, maybe you can make that argument. That's fine. But let's not forget in 2016, Richard Spencer and Steve Bannon were funneling information to Trump like it was nothing. Like we had direct contact to Trump like that. If we can do that with Rupert and James, dude, we'll go to the moon and back with progress because these people are stepping stones. They are stepping stones. James, he's shown me nothing but respect. He's done great things for me. He's a great guy. In my opinion, he's been very nice to me. But he's a stepping stone. Like the men who are representing us are so much stronger than the people who are in the limelight right now. Just in America, the two that come to my mind is Thomas Rousseau of Patriot Front, Eric Arwal of Return to the Land, and then obviously the Frojax brothers. They're great people. Robert Rundo. I mean, these guys are pushing this narrative and making men stronger, making men more tribalistic, making men understand who they are. When you have men, especially white men, who are knowledgeable about who they are, they get nationalistic. When they get nationalistic, they start caring about what goes on in the world a lot more. You talk about normies. Normies are normies because they don't know who they are. Normies are normies because they never were told, hey, this is why you're important. But when I was 13 years old, my great-grandfather said, hey, you are descended from a Confederate general, and you should be proud of that. And he went super far into the story. And since then, I have become very nationalistic about the South. And that has pushed me to care more for my people as a whole. And that's pushed me to care about people across the pond and, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, because it's a universal struggle amongst whites. This is not just a one nation thing.
Yeah. And, the thing is, even if we didn't particularly have something to be proud of, we should always have our own side, right? Why is it the Hispanic community can do this? Why is it the black community can do this? Why is it the Jewish community can do this? Yet we've been subverted and convinced that if we do it, it's evil. And actually, we've got nothing to be proud of anyway, so there's no point. That was the thing for me. I never really took an interest in history growing up. But then when you start to understand other cultures, when you start to understand there's still slavery today in Africa, in the Middle East, and then for me anyway, it was the British that got rid of slavery. They'll paint us as the slave traders, the colonizers. Oh my God, there's only one country in the world that can say it got rid of slavery in the West, right? You guys got on board too, right? You guys have done more for that than, you got the African Americans who will point the finger at white people all day, but ignore the fact that there's still slavery in Africa right now, right? The hypocrisy of it is unreal. The fact that they're unwilling to learn history, the fact that everyone's been a slave, it's just so redundant and still such a popular narrative within the black community today. It blows my mind, honestly.
Well, it's like the black community don't understand. Hey, you're still slaves today. You're slaves to government housing. You're slaves to this gang YN culture. You're slaves to EBT. You're slaves to single motherhood. You're slaves to this Jewish infiltration of the MLK stuff. You guys are still slaves today. What changed? You ain't singing Wade in the Water no more. You're just singing straight out of Compton. That's what changed? How about, I think the best thing that ever happened to the black community was segregation. If we're going to talk about strong black communities, they were all in the South. They were segregated. And in the South, I met one today. You can still find really, really good Southern black old men and women. They have this twang to them. They have that Southern hospitality because they just lost it. They completely lost it after the civil rights era. They completely lost it. And white people did too. White people lost their tribalism, and black people lost their sense to just think. It's like, hey,
Yeah, yeah.
idiot, it's not white people enslaving you. It's your Jewish record label that is telling you to go whitey. So stupid, man. It just blows my
Right,
mind how
right.
dumb these people can be sometimes.
Yeah, they're getting played, and they are just being used as a tool to take out white people because white people, to a certain degree, I mean, we have fallen from grace. There's no question about it, but at a much slower rate. We're
Yes.
not, gang banging. We're not shouting on the public transport. We still have some decorum to us, which is why we are still the biggest threat. And when you actually do go down the rabbit hole of history, I mean, that's the thing. When we collectivize, holy shit, all of colonization basically was a internal war within Europe. It was the British against the French, against the Spanish. That was just us, like, kind of going about our business. We just happened by accident. We took over a quarter of the world. We had the biggest empire that ever existed. That's when we're against each other. Now they're pushing all white people into a corner, which is forcing them to work together. Holy shit. Like what? Like when you actually kind of zoom out and you think about the strategy, what a dumb strategy. Can you imagine the collective will of all Europeans working together? So and this is why I have hope for the future, because like they're creating the biggest monster that has ever existed, and they realize they got this small window frame. And I get, you could compare us now with World War I, World War II. They've been very clever. All right, let's destroy their will. Let's destroy the bond between men and women. Let's destroy their ability to have kids. Let's poison the food. Let's poison the water. They are attacking us on all angles. And if anything, if nothing else, that is a testament to how powerful we can be, because they know if we actually worked as one, unstoppable. Unstoppable.
I completely agree. And it's going to be the youth to do it, dude. I'm telling you. When the guys who follow me on Instagram who are like, oh, I'm from this country and I love what you're doing, they're all young. And guys like me who are young, who are getting young guys on my show, you're young, you're getting young guys on your show. It's not going to be this older generation who's usually voting for people like, Boris Johnson, who's voting for people like Justin Trudeau, voting for people like Trump. It's not going to be them voting for people like Macron. It's not going to be these people to really save us and pull us out of this mess, because they kind of got us into this mess. They went so consumerist, with consumerist mentality in the 80s. Like boomers, all they focused on in the 80s was consumerism, music, neon lights, and they completely
GDP.
forgot about GDP. Oh, the GDP's up, but my daughter's getting stabbed by a Muslim. And
right.
So they've lost the plot of, hey, you missed everything that happened in your lifetime. You missed that mass migration was going on because you were too busy listening to the new Led Zeppelin album wearing your freaking wacky pants. And it's like, I get it, I'm a massive Zeppelin fan, but if I could listen to Zeppelin and look around like, a lot of sub-Saharan Africans in this area now. It's not very hard to notice. And these people completely missed it because they were so obsessed with consumerism. I mean, that's what we talk about the 80s. The 80s, the roaring 80s, they were so glorious. No one paid attention. We were being the greatest goys of all time with VR headsets on our eyes. New album, neon lights, new movies. Yeah, we just were completely out of it. We missed everything that happened with the Reagan economics, Margaret Thatcher destroying Northern England. It was a travesty. And now we, as the youth, people like me who are 18, who are getting involved in very far-right politics, it's like, I think it's expected of me as an American, as someone who is a descendant of people who fought in the Revolutionary War, War of 1812, the Civil War, to do something for my country. James Madison was 19. There's no excuse for me not to do anything. I mean, we have so many. There's many British heroes who are young as well. There's not an age limit to this. I would argue that the courage of the youth right now is outshining the old, wise people. The older wisdom that this older generation has seemed to pass them by, and that has given courage to us young people to go out and strive for something better that these old people can never conceive of because they're in their gated communities, they're living off of pensions, stuff like that.
100%, 100%. Like, the ground is getting swallowed up underneath us. And, Rupert Lowe, I don't particularly trust him. Like, I was a bit iffy on the guy, but now I think he is just all about the money. There will come a time where he will have to pick between ethno-nationalists, which, like, even that term is kind of redundant because all of our history everywhere were ethno-nationalists. We all had sovereignty. Mass migration is a new phenomenon, right? He'll have to make a choice between, because he's got a lot of Jewish supporters too, who also don't like mass migration. And he has the natives, he has the locals. I fear that he's getting a lot of pressure now. You're probably aware of Tommy Robinson.
Can't stand that guy.
Yeah, exactly. And he's even called for Rupert to disavow. And this is the other thing too. There's a lot of people in that party who are solid, who are G's, right?
Of course.
Steve Laws, Charlie Downs, we've got Lewis Blackpool. All of these people genuinely care about the country, right? And my fear is Rupert is now using these people, using their credibility to get up. When he's in front of them, when he's in front of that kind of crowd, yeah, millions got to go. We're going to get on it, lads. When he's in front of the other crowd, yes, ethno-nationalists, no thank you. At one point, he's going to get picked up on that. And my worry is he's gonna choose the wrong side.
Well, I would hope that Charlie Downs and Steve Laws would do the right thing and coup Rupert and take over the party. Because if Charlie Downs was the face of Restore, I just think that would be insane for the youth, the far-right youth, to see. Charlie Downs is absolutely amazing. He's one of those guys that I wish was a freaking American. He's great, and I think him running the party would be awesome. I love Steve Laws as well. I think Steve Laws is awesome, but Charlie Downs has that like clean-cut young guy. Why Steve Laws has already been made a martyr. You want a fresh guy who hasn't been made a martyr just yet.
So if you've made it this far, first of all, thanks very much. If you're watching on YouTube, please remember to comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching on Spotify, please be sure to give it a 5-star review. The full uncensored version of this episode can be found on Substack and Substack alone. Both YouTube and Spotify require censorship. However, Substack doesn't. With one YouTube already taken away, it's only a matter of time before it happens again. On top of that, with the Substack, we'll be doing live Q&As, talks with some of the biggest voices in this space, and a chance for you to ask the questions you want answering. Head over to Substack now for only £5 a month. I'll leave a link for this in the bio below. Cancel anytime. Thanks for watching this week's episode, and I hope to see you next time. All the best.